The sector's negative performance is blamed primarily on decreased economic activities reported for field crops, animal products and horticulture products. This is despite robust harvests of maize, soybean and sugarcane crops. Animal diseases seem to have weighed heavily on the sector. Agriculture economist Wandile Sihlobo says the livestock and poultry sectors, accounting for nearly half of the sector's value, have been battling diseases such as the foot and mouth, avian influenza and African swine fever.
It appears that the difficulties that we experience within the livestock and the poultry subsector undermined the performance of the sector. For example, we've been struggling with animal diseases, foot and mouth disease in cattle industry, African swine fever in pigs, and avian influenza in poultry. And I think the difficulties that these subsectors of our agricultural sector experience is what led to this underperformance.
Weather patterns and logistics challenges that have seen companies complain of congestion at the ports have also impacted the sector negatively.
A decline in horticultural exports due to logistical problems that we have, but also the grain industry that experienced a bit of a late season, and some of those numbers, although we had a very good summer grain crop, some of those numbers will only be reflected in the fourth quarter. And then lastly, we did experience floods in the Western Cape, which also resulted in a decline in the agricultural industry in the Western Cape specifically.
Others say farmers are also battling rising input costs in the form of diesel and fertilizers. Load shedding has further impacted the sector negatively.
One of the main drivers for this is energy. So the diesel that we utilize to make sure that we can keep our production up to standard. And then I think it's not just us. If you take something like fertilizer, remember, even the power cuts has a great impact and the high input costs on the factories itself. So all that cost, somewhere somebody needs to pay for it. And we as farmers are utilizing input costs to a greater extent in agriculture, and that had a main effect on us.
Kotze says the uncertainty on energy and regulations, as well as the challenges they experience, impact negatively on business confidence amongst farmers. Gloria Sefako Mosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.